rounds of golf, all the games of bridge, just all the friends, all the parties, all the line dances. My mom has decorated this room more oftentimes than I can count, whether it be for Christmas or the Ladies Golf Association member guest. That when I come into this clubhouse, into this room, I feel my mom's presence, and I know she's here with us today, and it's almost like coming home. This is how much this place meant to my mom and to my dad. Most everyone here knew my mom, but for those of you who didn't, she was talented. She was good at most everything she did. She was a good golfer. She was a good bridge player. She was a great cook. She was super smart. She was always very kind to my friends. And they always tell me, the ones that have reached out to me said they remember how kind my mom was and what a beautiful smile she had, and she did. But my mom was an excellent seamstress. She could sew anything. And the best gift I ever got was when I was 5, and we had a sewing machine in our dining room in Kensington Park, and she stayed up late at night to sew 2 outfits for my doll that would be ready for me when we woke up in the morning on the table. And I was only 5, but I knew that that was what love was. I knew that. And one of the outfits came complete with a floppy hat, and it fit perfectly. You know how hard it is to sew a floppy hat? One year on a vacation through the Smoky Mountains, we were driving through, and there were a family of bears in the street, and a number of cars had pulled over, and Dad pulled the car over, and as soon as the car came to a stop, I whipped out the door and came running towards those bears as fast as I could. Somehow I was not aware that bears were harmful. I didn't know that Mom was running as fast as she could behind me, and when she caught up with me, she grabbed me by my ponytail and pulled me back as fast as hard as she could. And I learned at that moment that Mom would step in whenever I was making a poor decision, and she was really fast. I was really fast at 7. But Mom was a doer. When she wasn't the Misty Creek Women's Golf Association president, she was the Mid-Gulf Golf Association president, and when she wasn't doing that, she was the Bridge Club president. And our phone was ringing off the hook. Mom was a leader. So much so that she often wouldn't accept much input from anyone else. And she came up to Nashville to help me move into my very first condominium when I got the job at Vanderbilt, and we went looking to decorate my condominium with draperies and everything you can imagine. And I said, how about this? No, you don't want that. And what about this? No, you want this, you want this. And I realized my condominium isn't going to look anything like what I wanted to look like. But Mom was doing it, and I let her, because whatever she did, she got it right, and it was going to turn out just fine, and it did. Mom was a woman with strong convictions, high standards, and strong opinions. I called a few months back. Scott was down playing a tournament in Naples, and I said, Tom just got back. He was down watching Scott play in Naples. She said, oh, you didn't go? I said, no, I had some plantar fasciitis. My foot's still not good enough to walk that far. And she says, oh. You finally did something smart for a change. And then as an educator, my mom spent her life teaching elementary school education, and I was out here teaching, and I went upstairs to see my mom playing bridge with the girls, and they were asking me about, my students, and many of them were homeschooled, which Mom was not a socialized. You know, and I agreed. You know, they need that socialization. You're right, Mom, they do. And then she says, and you need to learn how to judge people. And I think she meant, you know, read people, but one of the ladies playing bridge says, or not. So I just, the last few years have obviously been hard, and Mom hasn't been able to come up here to Misty Creek, and she would love to be here today to see all the people that she loves so very much. She loved the women she played golf with and bridge with. It was her life, and she missed it very, very much. And when I think of my mom and what her legacy will be, and I think she has many legacies, but Scott and I are her legacy. Mm-hmm. So Mom, we will aim to be more patient, more kind, and do good deeds the way you raised us. And I know you're up in heaven looking down on us, and we will live our lives the way you taught us, Mom. Until we meet again, I love you, Mom. Thanks. I've got a slideshow that I put together, and I think Mike will be able to do that for you. So if anyone after the slideshow would like to come up and give a few words, we sure would love to hear from you.